All right, guys, welcome back to Coastal Living. Now, this is the part of the show where we remember the tragic attack that rocked our nation 18 years ago, so long ago now, but we still remember the September 11th attacks were a series of 4 coordinated terrorist attacks by the Islamic terrorist group Al-Qaeda against the United States on the morning of Tuesday, September 11th, 2001. As communities across the country remembered those who lost their lives on 9/11, a group of New Jersey high school students who weren't even alive when the attacks happened are doing their part to never forget. Lisa Mateo has a story from Cedar Grove, New Jersey.
With each flag, a moment to reflect about those who lost their lives on 9/11. Students are planting 2,977 flags on the front lawn of Cedar Grove High School in New Jersey, one for each person killed in the terrorist attacks. More than 90 countries lost citizens. Junior Brian Catanzarite doesn't remember that day. He wasn't alive 18 years ago. But this display helps convey the impact on so many lives.
Not only is it like a person, it's like the whole family. So you just want to keep in mind why you're doing it and who you're doing it for.
It hits close to home for senior Francesca Catrone. Her father has told her about working downtown on 9/11.
We saw the buildings collapse, and to think that this could be happening right now, like in real life, and to put that into perspective, anything can happen in the blink of an eye.
Now in its 5th year, Cedar Grove Waves is organized by resident and parent David Schoner.
When you come here and you see the magnitude of every flag, it stays with you, and it causes a conversation.
A new addition to the project last year, a 4-foot piece of steel from the remnants of the World Trade Center.
I can't recreate for you what most of us experienced.
The conversation continues inside, where students get involved in presentations for their classmates. Principal Richard Mangili says it's an important part of the school's 9/11 remembrance.
We want to educate our students and never forget our victims.
Cedar Grove students are learning where their responsibility begins.
As we get older, it'll become our job to keep telling the story of what happened.
And the flags honoring the victims will help them tell the story. Lisa Mateo, CBS News, Cedar Grove, New Jersey.
Now, you may remember some guests that we had in-house the past week or two. Here at home, some local firefighters had a golf tournament to honor the fallen first responders of 9/11. They raised $40,000, the largest amount that we have ever had for this event, thanks to all the support from the community. So we are grateful to everyone who made it out to support this cause and to express to those first responders, firefighters, and anyone who was in relation to anyone that was lost during 9/11 to see that there is still support, there is still so much love out there, and we are all still very aware.
A lot of people
very
may
conscious.
not be aware that on that day, on the moment that it happened, a bunch of firefighters from here and from all over the country just got in the truck and headed for New York. And so there are quite a few of our firefighters who actually were there either within a day or so, or I know one guy who drove 24 hours to get there to help when there was still smoke rising. And then the recovery, you know, we had to dig down and find all those people and pull all that out, and every piece was a sacred piece. So those guys remembered well, and that group, that golf tournament, they get together every year to remember the 343 first responders
firefighters
who perished that day.
Yep, and that's just firefighters.
And they were
also
going up
police officers
to help.
and
Yes,
It's just unbelievable. I mean, it's been 18 years already. Do y'all remember where you were when it happened, or?
I was in a newsroom.
Yeah.
which is really intense.
Yeah, it gets real intense because we're all watching, and then the next question is, okay, what do we got to do? What do we got to do? Who do we got to call? What do we got to? We got to be ready for this, ready for that. But you know, that how do I say this? That was a work environment, so we had to go do something.
And consciously figuring out what angle to take and how to share that with the community.
Yeah, I was in my 5th grade classroom, and I was wondering why my classmates, they were all leaving, their parents were picking them up, and I was like, what's going on? As soon as I got to my grandmother's house, I turned the TV on, immediately saw that, and I just had no words. I had, you know, I was obviously a baby, but still
At that age, it's hard to comprehend.
It was, and it really affected me, but I just wanted to be around my loved ones and just tell them I love them, and obviously, you know, support our, you know, the I think it was how many? 3,000 people,
3,000.
and we're definitely honoring them today.
Absolutely. I know I was naturally late in true Clarissa form to my class that morning with tacos in hand. And I walked in like any normal day, which is what it felt like until we got into the classroom. And it was Mr. Garcia's geology class, I believe, geography. I didn't pay much attention, but when I came to the screen and saw that, it's something that you see in a movie.
Yeah,
It's something
it
that
was
is
surreal. It was
animated. It's something that's fake. So it took a minute for me to understand, why are we glued to the TV?
So
and what
the
weird
class
movie
was
are we
watching it live?
Yes, we're
The
watching
class
it
was
live.
watching it live.
And even at that age, I was probably like 13, 14. You mentioned you were in 5th grade. I mean, it didn't click for a while.
No.
I'm like, are we watching a movie? What's going? Okay,
No
you're
matter-
saying that this is happening right now in our country, and we get so involved in our daily lives and so obsessed with what we're doing from minute to minute, day to day, you forget there is a whole world, a whole country, a whole universe out there of people that are a part of you. We are all connected. We're all united.
Yep.
And it's unfortunate that it takes, things like this for us to kind of be conscious of that
And all you
realize.
can ask is why. I mean, any channel you would turn on or flip the channel to, it was what was happening.
Yep.
So
And my question is, where do we begin? We've got to do something.
Yes. Well,
We-
the fallen heroes
do we hold hands? Do we hug our loved ones? Do we meet someone that we don't know? Do we try and get to learn each other? Why the hatred exists? I mean,
I think it all
what are we gonna
correlates
do?
with that mental health conversation that we've been having really since the beginning of the show, but especially this month for Suicide Prevention Awareness Month. Just the fact that we need to make those daily human connections, whether it be, and it's the ones that you take for granted. It's not
Yeah.
calling your mom necessarily, but she needs you to call her. But it's the person at the corner store that gave you bad service and you want to give them attitude back, but maybe they're having a terrible day.
Right.
That conversation with the coworker who's not acting as chipper as they normally do. So it starts with you, as Tim Tate mentioned earlier. It starts with your inner peace, your inner happiness. But even if you don't have much to share, it also feels good to give joy to other people,
Right.
and in return you'll receive gratitude and
right.
joy back.
Be
as well.
somebody's blessing and be somebody's light. That's
Exactly.
very
Yep.
important.
And on that, the photos that you saw of the firefighters at the golf tournament, Lonnie, it's his birthday.
Oh, happy birthday, Lonnie.
One of the organizers, and so congratulations on your birthday. A great tournament, and we're glad that Coastal Living was able to help. He says
Absolutely.
because of this show, their numbers went up.
I love
amazing.
it.
That's what we
hopefully-
love to hear.
Hey, and next year hopefully we can double those numbers, and
You
if
bet.
we go ahead of time,
Yeah.
I'll start working on my golf swing so we can be
Yes.
part of that event
Let's
too.
work on that together, Clarissa.
All right,
I know
guys.
you've got it down, Mac.
Remember, never forgotten 9/11. You are in our hearts and spirits. Guys, you're watching Coastal Living. We'll be right back.